What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Saturday edition of the Every Game Breakdown here on Big Men on Basketball. I am Jeff Nadeau. What we do here, and we do this every day, we break down every game on the card. At the end, I go over some of my favorites. If you listen up closely, I'll tell you what I'm betting on. We get to all that and more. Let's break it down. 10:30 Eastern here on a Saturday. I know most of the East Coast is getting snow. However, where I'm at, we were on the western edge. We barely got anything, maybe an inch, but good for us. The sun's going to come out here in a couple of hours, so we escaped all that snow. So I'm very happy about that. All right, let's get in to this huge card. A lot of games, a lot to go over. Let's start it out. If you want, you're welcome to comment in the comment box, and I'll hit those as we go. Let's start out first at the top of the board chronologically. LSU and TCU, Big 12 SEC Challenge. You look at this game, LSU laying 3 on the road here. Interesting. I mean, we continue to see LSU laying points, okay? Without Pinson, they have not been good against the number. In fact, they've lost 3 of those 5 games. The other game is a 6-point win against Florida and a 6-point win against A&M. So, every game has been close or they have lost. Now, there is talk that Pinson may be back today. In fact, it's likely he'll play at some point. Now, how healthy is he? I don't know. I'm going to guess that he doesn't give you much. I think if he give you anything, that's a bonus, especially for a team that has had trouble scoring. This is likely to be a low-scoring game. To me, I had this first to 60 wins. Neither team is particularly good offensively, especially LSU without Pinson. They are significantly worse. We all know how good defensively LSU is. Still the number 1 defensive efficiency team in America. They're going to get Days back tonight. Didn't have him over the week against A&M. I lean LSU here. I just do. I think they take care of business at any rate. I don't think TCU – I mean, you talk about a bad offense in LSU. I mean, TCU is even worse. I mean, this offense is awful. They turn the ball over constantly. I think 3 is still a bit light here. I still think LSU. I'm big on LSU. I like them a lot. I think they're a really good team. Do I think they've struggled without Pinson and should they be laying double digits or something? No. But I think once they get him back, they're going to be very effective. This is an LSU team that really look. If I had a concern, it's at the free throw line. They're not a good free throw shooting team. They need to be better there. But I kind of had this game like, I don't know, 65-59. I think it's close, but I think LSU gets the job done and finds a way to cover. So if I had to play it, I would go there. LSU Davidson, I don't have much here. Look, you want to play a 15 with Davidson? I have no issue. LaSalle's kind of, I think, lost as to what they are right now. What we could say about Davidson, they're not an efficient team, but they're an efficient team. They're not a fast team. They're an efficient team. Really haven't lost any games that they shouldn't. I mean, losing to VCU, nothing wrong with that. But when we look at their the step-up games, they played well. But when we look at these games against teams they should take care of, they've kind of struggled. I mean, beat UMass by 10, beat Fordham by 3. Beat Penn by 12. They have some blowout games. I would definitely lean on them blowing this team out as opposed to winning by a few, but I don't have much on this game. Lean Davidson. It's a lot of points, 12 o'clock early. Duke, Louisville. A lot of people are going to take Louisville here. I'm not sure why. Obviously, I guess they just think the coaching change makes Louisville interesting here. Look, the truth of the matter is still Louisville's not a good basketball team. They can't score. Defensively, they've just been average. They don't force turnovers. They don't rebound the basketball, really. They really don't do anything well, Louisville. If you want to bet on Duke here, I guess you're just hoping that this is one of those get off get off the ground type of games where Louisville kind of circles the wagon at home and you get something good out of this group. But you haven't gotten it all year, so salud. Miami, Georgia Tech. This is a weird number. Why is this number only 2.5? Do books just not believe in Miami? Do people just not believe in Miami? I don't know what else this team needs to do. I mean, they beat Wake. They beat Duke. They beat Carolina. They beat Virginia Tech. They beat Clemson. They beat Syracuse. They beat NC State. What more do they need to do? Now you got a random Saturday game against Georgia Tech. Who cares about Georgia Tech? The problem Miami has, I think, ultimately is going to come on the defensive end. I don't think they're good there, but Georgia Tech's not going to exploit that. This is one of those games for me where I'm going to play Miami at 2.5. I played them the other night +5. I didn't really get that line. I don't really get this one either. Could this be one of those sleepy spots on a Saturday morning? Yeah. And look, I'll be advising you guys. Noon games are really tough. They are. Okay. It's not easy for these college kids to get going. A lot of the times you're going to see these slow games, games where you see teams struggling. I think 2.5 still okay. I'm going to play Miami small, nothing crazy. But the number was weird. I didn't get it. I think Miami's actually really good. And look, Charlie Moore's been terrific. Guys, listen, Miami's, again, the number one offensive team in this conference. I mean, the number one. The thing is, they can go on the road here, and they could struggle from 3. But if they do, solid. Look, if Georgia Tech hang close, so be it. I don't think this is a very good team. I know they just beat Florida State, but they got their big win. Let's hope they kind of falter here against Miami. I like Miami. I'd play it a little bit here. Georgetown, Butler, 2 bad teams in the Big East. I've got absolutely zero interest in laying almost 2 possessions with almost 3 possessions with Butler. I don't really want to take Georgetown. It's a complete pass for me. Don't put money on bad teams. Wichita and Tulane. Last night, Wichita was a 1-point dog. They're now a 2.5-point favorite on the road at Tulane. How about that? It's hard giving Ron Hunter points. However, Tulane looks like this is a spot they're going to struggle. Wichita, look, under Isaac Brown, are still a very good defensive team. They rebound the hell out of the ball. They create extra possessions. And they're a team that's very good at the line. I think this is a game where it's probably close, but I think they pull away and win the game by 5 to 7 points. I'll side with the sharp money here. Do I advise betting it at 2.5? Well, no, because you could have got a way better number earlier this morning or late last night. So do I want to bet this? No, but I agree with the move. I think Wichita's a better team than Tulane. Michigan State. A lot of sharp monies take Michigan. A lot of it. It was just 5. It's now 3.5. A lot of people just believe Michigan's back. Do I think they are? Look, they're definitely playing better. Hunter Dickinson's been terrific. He's kind of looked like the player we thought he'd be. He wasn't even great, though, against Northwestern. They still found a way to win. That's the thing. They're finding ways to win. Now they've got their bitter rival in Lansing this morning here in a game that, look, I'm just going to come out and say it. Michigan has to have every game from now on. This is not a guarantee they're going to make the NCAA tournament at this point. I know that's crazy to say, but it's true. They need to go on the road and win these quad 1 games. They've got 2 over the next 3 games. You can't afford bad losses. We need to see the best product of Michigan every game going forward. It's all going to come down to the point guard, Devontae Jones. And look, he's played a lot better. Diabate's played a lot better. They need good guard play because their guard play isn't that great, quite honestly. And it wasn't good all season. That's one of the reasons that they're 10-7 and 4-3 in conference. This is still a good offense. This is a defense that I think is still going to struggle in ball screens and things of that nature. I got to be honest. I think the over's got some play here. I could have had this game in the 140s, 74-70, 73-69, 76-72, something like that. I think both offenses are efficient here, and they are. These are both good offenses. Both good offenses. I kind of had this one, like I said, first 70 wins. So take it for what it's worth. D from Detroit, what's up? Not a lot of people in the chat. We got some people in here, though. Thanks for coming in. Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina. You got to be able to shoot the ball when you face Coastal Carolina. Cliff Ellis throws junk zones at you. It's definitely a box checker if you're Arkansas State. They make a lot of threes. 35% on the season. So lean that way. I don't bet a lot of Sun Belt. East Tennessee State, VMI. I like VMI. I like VMI a lot, quite frankly. I've always mentioned I love Dan Earl's team. I like them more as a dog, not necessarily as a favorite, but I can understand why they're a favorite here. This is not a vintage East Tennessee State team, guys. Okay, Steve Forbes is long gone. This team's lost 3 of 5 overall, including losses to Citadel and Greensboro. They can't seem to get any stops right now. Okay, and if I'm looking at this game, I'm going to say to myself, what do I know that I like here? I like VMI's offense. Okay, I do. I think this team regularly can get to 80. They're that good. I also look at East Tennessee State and I say to myself, I mean, this team defensively is not good. They're bad, quite frankly. They don't get any stops. They're one of the bottom 25 teams in America defensively. They just are. And VMI can hit you every different way. They're good at the line. They don't turn it over. They're good from three. They just are efficient. Okay, they take a lot of threes and they make them. This team is good. Okay, they're shooting over 39% in conference. What more do we need to say about VMI? This team is really good. So for me, at home, I can understand a team total here at 77.5. East Tennessee State they're just not very good. Maybe an over. I could see that as well. This should be a high-scoring game. I think it's maybe first to 80 wins. All right, back to the games. Lafayette Army. Kind of lead Army, maybe at anything 7 or better. Army, I think, is one of the better teams in the Patriot League. They're very well coached under Jimmy Allen. Done a nice job this year. Lafayette, I don't know. Fredo Hanlon, I feel he's wearing out his welcome a little bit. He's not going to get fired. He's a good coach, but they've lost 4 of 6 overall. They don't really do anything well offensively, and they're not good on the defensive end. Lead Army. Pass, though. Chattanooga Citadel. Chattanooga, I think they're the best team in the SoCo. Them and Furman. Citadel has been back to their old tricks, not getting any stops defensively. Though I will give them credit. They've won 2 straight games. We have to look at the source. Western Carolina by 2. Who cares? East Tennessee State by 2. Who cares? They've gotten regularly blown out in this conference and actually lost by 18 earlier this year against this same Chattanooga team. Okay. Do I think a change of venue changes much here? Not really. I mean, Citadel is still struggling to get stops. They can't rebound the basketball. I think Chattanooga gets a lot on the glass today. I really do. They're the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the SoCo. So I have some real concerns about whether they can get stops in this game. I'd lean on laying the points. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it. We're here every day breaking down the card on Patreon. What are my 4 favorite teams today? I'll discuss that at the end. Thanks for checking in. But one game I played so far was Miami, -2.5. Drexel and Towson. James Butler's back for Drexel. The problem is, Okurus is not. Okris is hurt. So, they've had certain players back, certain players not. So I'm not getting a fully healthy Drexel team right now. So it's almost just a pass for me. Northern Iowa, Illinois State. Northern Iowa starting to kind of get things going a little bit. Maybe they can be a fly in the ointment in the Missouri Valley. I think they've won 6 of 9 in conference or something like that. Very good defensive rebounding team. In fact, one of the best in the country. One of the keys to basketball is rebounding. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it truly is. The key to being, let's say if you're bad defensively, you can end possessions quick by just rebounding, boxing out and rebounding, not giving a team a second chance opportunity. It is maddening. Fresno State could not get a rebound last night when it mattered most. Dayton couldn't got a rebound when it mattered most. They were able to win games over Rhode Island because they could rebound the basketball. That's one thing Northern Iowa does at a very high level. You've got to give Ben Jacobson credit for that. They're not a great defensive team, but they end possessions quickly and rebound the basketball. You look at on the other end, this team has really played well offensively. We've got to start giving them some credit. You look at this spot for them here against Illinois State. I'll give Illinois State some credit. This team is rocking shooting the ball as well. Number one in the Missouri Valley in three-point shooting. Who'd have thought that they'd still be able to play under Dan Muller? I thought Dan Muller was a memory. I just don't think he's a very good coach. But one thing I'll say about this game, you have efficiency on both sides offensively. You've got two very average defensive teams. And you've got a team in Illinois State that's going to push the tempo. And look, for that matter, Northern Iowa is actually turning into more of a tempo team. We remember them as like this team that wants to play in the 50s 3 or 4 years ago. Not so much anymore. I mean, they actually run some tempo, quite honestly. And you look at it in conference, I mean, they're third in tempo in the Missouri Valley. So if I had to play this, I'm kind of getting to the point where this seems like a good over game to me. I think both these teams are efficient. I think they are good from the three-point line. I don't think a lot of stops come in this game. I think a lot of half-court efficiencies there. St. Louis and Duquesne, obviously it's been a weird season for St. Louis. They've lost so much with graduation and with injuries. Obviously, Jordan Goodwin this year and guys like that. It hasn't really deterred them, though. They're playing well. Another team that rebound the ball at a high level. They're making their free throws this year under Travis Ford, which is a huge change. This team normally makes no free throws. They're shooting the free throws at 77%. Shout out to St. Louis. They never shoot the ball well from the line under Travis Ford. So good for them. And that's the key to covering, guys. You make free throws, you cover games. Duquesne's been an absolute mess lately. They've lost 4 in a row. A couple of them have come by double digits. Seems like when this group steps up in competition, they get rolled. I have no real interest in Duquesne here. I guess you hope you get off the mat here against a team that I guess you can hang around against, but I don't see it. I lean St. Louis. This free throw stuff's been impressive. NC State, North Carolina. I don't have much here. Look, I like North Carolina. I do. I don't trust them defensively. At what point is this team going to start defending? They're good offensively. They play good tempo. They're a good rebounding team as usual. This is another team, not a key in to make the NCAA tournament. North Carolina has no resume. Okay, I think the best win on this schedule, it might be Furman. Is that the best win this team has? That ain't enough to get to the NCAA tournament. You got to start winning games. St. Joe's, St. Bonaventure. I've said before, and I'll say it again, there's a change of the guard at St. Joe's. This team is better than in years past. This team is solid. They defend at a higher level. Offensively, they're pretty good. They're a big team, too. I mean, they're gigantic, St. Joe's. I think they're top 20 in height in America. How many times have I said this year, I'm done with St. Bonaventure? And I've continued to feel that way. I mean, lost the other night to George Mason. I mean, at what point are we going to kind of say, you know what? Enough's enough with this team. Now, I will say this. They struggled in a game that I bet them on against LaSalle. Won that game in overtime by 4. Struggled. Came right back home. Rolled against VCU. Won by 20. Okay. Now you get St. Joe's today. Okay. Off of that poor game. A game you lost to Kim English and George Mason. Now you come back home. You get a team in St. Joe's that, do I like? Yeah. But against top-tier competition, I mean, they lose every game going away. I mean, got blown out by Davidson, got blown out by VCU, got blown out by Villanova, blown out by USC, blown out by Monmouth. I'm kind of circling the wagons here. Do I dare want to go back to Bonnie here? Do I dare? I'll say this, and I'll say this until the cows come home. This spot, I lean Bonnie, and I'm going to have a little something on them today. Not a huge play. I'm going to have something on them today. I expect them to respond here. I do. I think Olean's hopping today. What's there to do in Olean right now? Go to a basketball game. It's snowing. Go to a basketball game. I think that they pull away and win this one. They've responded off losses. It's time to respond again. So far, it's a tough card. It really is. A couple of leans here. I like Miami, minus a 2.5. I like Bonnie, minus Can I get a 10.5? Yes, I can. I like 10.5 here against Joe's. And I like Joe's, but I think this game kind of screams Bonnie blowout. Xavier Creighton. Fuck Xavier. I hate this team. Fuck them. Even when I think I can bet them and they're in a good spot, they lose. Fuck Xavier. I hate this team. These fucking people, man, they always pick the fucking time to go out and fuck with their cars, moving the ice. Fuck, man. It's annoying. All right, Missouri, Iowa State. Missouri keeps hanging around against good teams. Some nights they get blown out, and some nights they'll hang around against Auburn. If you could figure out Conzo Martin's team, I'd like to hear it. I think they can hang around again today. I'm not in love with Iowa State. Oklahoma, Auburn. Oklahoma is different for me this year for one reason. They cannot stop turning the ball over. That's a quick way to get blown out against Auburn. In a tough atmosphere, I think they're capable of hanging around, but I can't trust them. They turn the ball over too much, does Oklahoma. Big man, I'm the guy that sent the picture to you with the hoodie I purchased from you. I will have T-shirts for the summer. Send me info on your merchandise. I'm trying to remember what hoodie. I mean, that was a long time ago, I feel like, but maybe you can contact me and let me know what you're talking about. Shane Russell, I used to follow you. You dropped some weight. Looking good. Yeah, 125 pounds, man. Did I miss West Kentucky? No, you didn't. What's up? Ryan says, I can't stand Xavier. Yeah, me either. But yeah, Oklahoma's going to have to play a perfect game. If they don't turn the ball over, they've got a shot. That's easier said than done because this team can't hold on to the fucking ball. UMBC and Binghamton, obviously with a new coach at Baltimore County and Jim Ferry, they've turned the tempo up this year. It is put your head down. It is we don't defend at a real high level. I will say I've been impressed by Lavelle Sanders and Binghamton. Okay, they've won more games than I thought they were capable of. They're 5-3 in America East play. How about that? Now you get a home game here against UMBC. Could I see a winnable opportunity for Binghamton? Sure. Do I want to bet them? Fuck no. I don't have much in this game. High Point and Campbell, don't have much in this one either. Tubby Smith teams suck. I like Campbell, though. They have a good point guard in Chris Clemens' brother. I believe his name is Ricky Clemens. They're a good defensive team as well. West Virginia, Arkansas. Two teams, I think, going in opposite directions. West Virginia has been a mess. I mean, quite honestly. A mess at home, a mess away. They can't make free throws. Offense, as usual, is tough for them. And when we look at Arkansas, I've said before, I like Arkansas a lot. I think they're really good. They're starting to play at a really high level defensively. And that's the big thing I'm finding with Arkansas that I'm impressed by. You look at these 5 wins they've had. Give up 43 to Missouri, 58 to LSU, 59 to South Carolina, 55 to Mississippi, 73 to A&M. Okay, I mean, 4 of those 5 very good defensively. Throw in the fact that, they've been okay all season defensively. You look at in this conference, number 1 in defensive efficiency. If I told you Eric Musselman's team will be number 1 in conference in defensive efficiency, would you believe me? Now, it's important to say they haven't played that many good teams, and they got LSU without Pinson. But hey, you play who's on your schedule. We're going to find out a lot about this group coming up. They got a lot of tough games, but the schedule continues to be quite manageable here. You got a home game today against, I think, a walking and wounded WVU team. I mean, this group has lost 4 in a row and 5 of 7 overall. And again, like I said, can't score. They just can't score. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you're also, when you look at Arkansas, I mean, you're not really going to force turnovers. They don't really turn the ball over. So, like I said, I think these two teams are going in opposite directions. Samford and Western Carolina. Look, these are both 2 teams that play no defense, that want to go very fast. I just don't trust Western. Like, I want to bet the over in this game, but Western Carolina I don't think they can score against anybody. I kind of lean Sanford, and quite frankly, I would lean on a Sanford team total if it's good enough. If is it 76 maybe 76 and a half? I don't know. It's juiced. It's a good play, I think. I like Sanford. They play this Bucky ball, which comes from their coach. Used to be a lower level D2 coach, I believe. One of the fastest teams in the country. Very good in getting into the lane, getting into the hoop. Good offensive rebounding team. Look, they don't play any defense, but I'm hastened to believe that they can get into the mid 70s here. I think they touch 80. I mean, Western Carolina is absolutely abhorrent defensively. Abhorrent. They can't get any stops. 320th in defensive efficiency in America. They get no stops. None. And now you're going to play a team that is going to run with you. They can score many different ways. I definitely can understand why people could like Sanford possibly. Maine and Vermont. Vermont's getting, back to where there's no value betting on them. Vermont can't miss in conference. Okay, they're laying 25 today. Would I bet them? I'm not betting Maine here. Maine still sucks. They're still one of the worst teams in the country. Question we have today is, can Vermont get to 90? I think it's perfectly possible. I mean, this Vermont team, man, and they can't miss. Every game they score 80 or more. They're shooting 62% from two and 49% from three in conference, guys. Guys, they played 6 conference games, and they're shooting that good. Now you get the worst game here and the worst team. Vermont, what is their team total? Let's ask ourselves. Probably high. Whoa. Vermont team total 78.5. Why? Why the hell is it only 78.5? Well, I'll tell you why. Maine is very fucking slow. But does it really fucking matter? Seriously, does it fucking matter? No, I don't think it does. Keep in mind, New Hampshire is like bottom 5 in America in tempo, and they still put up 80 plus. I'm going to play Vermont, team total over 78.5. Guys, again, when I play a game, generally I'm going to ask myself, if this game somehow loses, will I absolutely be mad about it? No. Vermont just can't miss. If they go and miss today, salute. Whatever. Who cares? If they get to 75, whatever. They're still shooting at a high level. I'll take it again. I mean, you look at last year. I mean, let's just ask ourselves, what happened last year? Vermont, all right, Vermont won both games 65-30 and 88-60. If you want to lay the points, I have no issue with that either. I would be really irritated if this game's 75-40. I really would. I would be absolutely pissed off. But yeah, I mean, Vermont's rolling. Whatever you decide to do, whether it's laying the points, team total, Vermont's really good offensively right now. And against other teams that have been even slower than Maine, they've been able to score a lot of points. So in conference, Maine's actually turning the tempo up a little bit. So hopefully that helps a little bit and aids to higher scoring here. Also, keep in mind, I mean, NJIT, kind of similar to Maine. Vermont put up 83 in that game. So, all right, let's move on. We got a lot of games here. I'm going to skip over a couple of these, just don't have much interest. UW Milwaukee Youngstown, no real interest. Look, the Patrick Baldwin experience has been a complete joke. He's barely played. He's gone to the NBA. He's done. FAU, UTSA, 2 teams that I've liked in years past, one of which in UTSA, but just I don't like them the same as I have in years past. They lost Javon Jackson and some of their other talent. Dartmouth and Columbia, 2 of the worst teams in the Ivy. Columbia stops nobody. Dartmouth is really relying on 3-point shots. But I will say this about Dartmouth. They do a lot of things well, okay? They make threes. They're good from the line, and they don't turn the ball over. I think this is a very winnable game for Dartmouth. But I was told very many years ago, don't put money on bad teams. I lean Dartmouth, but I'm not playing it. American and Navy. Um, Listen, American is real bad defensively, real bad. And if you're Navy today, I mean, there shouldn't be any reason you can't score the basketball at a high level. Um, this is a very winnable game for Ed DeChellis and crew. 6-3 in conference, one of the better teams. John Carter and Greg Summers, as usual, very good for them. American's not going to put much up defensively. Do I want to lay 15 though? No. Indiana, Maryland, complete coin flip. I can't seem to get Maryland pegged this year and figured out. I don't know what to expect. Some nights they look real bad where they'll lose to Rutgers by double digits at home. Then they'll beat Illinois and they'll go into Rutgers and win. So, I don't know what to say about Maryland. I don't think Indiana's very good. I think they're just a team that happened to get lucky against Purdue and had some random kid have 20 points. I don't really respect either team. Arizona State and Arizona. Look, I can understand where people wouldn't do this with me, but again, I've pegged Arizona really well this year. I've been able to fade them when I needed to fade them, and I've been betting them when I've needed to bet them. Okay, I've bet them a couple of times. I'm betting them here. They're at home. Arizona State is quit, I think. I think it's quite honest. I mean, when we look at Arizona against bad basketball teams, they absolutely kill them. They're winning each game by 24 points a game. They're laying 21.5 today. The early start is concerning, but they're off of a loss where they didn't play well. I think they just overwhelm Arizona State. Guys, we've got to start talking about it. Arizona State is heinous offensively. I'm talking about really bad. Some of the worst in the country. This team is terrible. You have the ability to blow this team out if you want to do it. And I think Arizona is doing it today. I laid the 21.5 here. If you want to, you're welcome to. And if you don't, then so be it. But I think Arizona State's real bad. And I think Arizona is one of those teams where I don't have a lot of issue. I thought this be around 20. That's around where it is. So I mean, I can understand playing over here as well. I mean, I think Arizona State, I think they probably get to 60. I mean, I think that's enough to get this game over. I think this is 88-62, something like that. I think they roll. So I'm laying the number. You're welcome to join me or not. Virginia Tech, Florida State. I've said before, Virginia Tech's one of the most volatile teams in the country to bet on. I don't bet on them. There are very few teams that need threes more than them to be good and survive in games. Florida State's really starting to turn it up. Gun in my head, I'd lean Florida State at home. But Virginia Tech can either look real bad or real good. You never really know. Temple, SMU. Temple continues to get no respect in the market. This team is solid, guys. Okay. They've won 4 in a row, a couple of wins against UCF and Cincinnati. Only lost to Houston by 5. This is a solid team, man. Really solid. I will say it is tough to go to Moody Coliseum and win, though. That's a great atmosphere and a tough home court advantage for SMU. Really tough. Temple, I'm going to hope they can hang around. I really do. The concern for Temple, though, is where does the offense come from? SMU is really good at defending without fouling. One of the big contentions for Temple is if they can't get to the basket, how do they score? Because they're very reliant on the free throw line to manufacture points. If they go into these long doldrums where they can't score, I have some real concerns. They're still without Jake Forrester. Look, I like Temple. It wouldn't surprise me if they hang around. But again, they're one path to offense this year. They're 10th in the country in point distribution from the free throw line. That's concerning here. For a team that doesn't foul at SMU, that has a kid like Kendrick Davis, it wouldn't surprise me if they pull away and win 76-62 or something. They're a really good home team. I don't think Temple is really going to be able to score in this game. And if they do, I mean, as a fan, I'll root them in, but it's tough. I'm not there yet, Georgia. I go over every game. When we get to that time, we'll do it. We're at the 3 o'clock range. Georgia State, UL Monroe. I don't bet much Sun Belt. Georgia State over the years is pretty similar. Very four-guard lineup based, run a lot of pace. Defensively, they're always kind of average. And, this year offensively, they've just been a complete mess. Can't seem to get much figured out. UL Monroe is also the same. I think both teams struggle to score, quite honestly. But the pace will be there. So I guess it's one of those games where are they good offensively? No, but they're both going to, I think, adhere to what the other wants to do. So pass. Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State. Look, I had watched Kentucky the other night as a dog, plus 3.5. They lost by 3, so I was able to get the job done. It's kind of been a tough road for Rick Stansbury, as usual. They've lost 4 in a row, including some games they shouldn't lose. I mean, you shouldn't lose to Florida Atlantic outright. You shouldn't lose to FIU. I mean, just some bad losses. I don't trust Rick Stansbury. I don't. Do I want to get points with him? Probably at home. Do I want to lay 6.5? No. No, I don't. No, I don't. If you want to bet this, you're welcome to do it. I don't want to. Middle Tennessee, are they good? Not really, but they're going to try to force turnovers. They're a good rebounding team. I could see them hanging around. I don't trust Rick Stansbury laying points. I like Jamarian Sharp and some of these kids WKU have, but I mean, they've been in some really tough games that they've ended up losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. Illinois, Chicago, Oakland. Illinois, Chicago's bad. Oakland is one of the better teams in the Horizon League. Greg Campy has this team playing at a really high level. 1 loss since December 30th, a game in which they just didn't play real well in. Do I have any issue with them? No. I mean, they're a good free throw shooting team, play with pace. They have the ability to blow you out because they play with the right kind of tonic you need to do that. I didn't play it. Dixie State, Chicago State, 2 bad teams, complete pass. It's been troublesome, though, for these teams from the WAC go all the way to Chicago. Don't be surprised if Chicago State win this game. They're better than they've been in years past. Am I interested in playing it? No, because it's bad teams. UT Martin, Belmont. No issue if you want to play Belmont here. You see a lot of big numbers in this conference with Murray, Belmont, and Moorhead. The one team I don't lay big numbers with is Moorhead. I've talked about that on my Patreon every time we go over these cards. Belmont, I don't have any issue laying a number with. Murray State, don't really have any issue laying a number with. St. Thomas, Western Illinois. This should be a 1st to 80 wins. Western Illinois is a layup line defensively. Play with a lot of pace. St. Thomas get no stops. They shoot more threes than really anyone in America. I think this is 1st to 80 wins. You want to play the over? Solid. I have no issue with it. Rice and Southern Miss. Southern Miss, one of the worst teams in the Conference USA. Rice, a team I have no interest in laying points with on the road. Miami of Ohio, Eastern Michigan, same thing. 2 kind of middling teams, kind of in a coin flippy game. No interest. North Dakota State, South Dakota State. I'll come out and say it. I played North Dakota State plus 11. This game has been decided by 5 points or less in 6 straight games. These teams play close, okay? North Dakota State, will I lay points against bad teams in this conference? Sure. Or South Dakota State, I'm sorry. They're at home here. They're a better team. But North Dakota State play them close every year. Go, guys, look at the last 6 games between these 2 teams. 2 points, 2 points, 1 point, 4 points. Every game's close. They play close. I'm going to trust the history. I'm going to trust the ability that North Dakota State have. I like Rocky Cruiser a lot. I think this team is tough on the block. They're always well coached under Dave Richmond. And, defensively, they're much better than South Dakota State. Much better. Keep in mind, these 2 teams played earlier this year, 90 to 86. Why are they getting 11 here? I'll play the 11. North Dakota State. I'm adding that to the list I bet today. At the end, I'll go over some of my favorites. This one's a good one. This is one where I'm just going to play it and close every year. It's that simple. Toma says, greetings from snowy Ocean City, New Jersey. One of my old haunts, one of my second homes. Toma, a lot has changed to me this year. I'm finally getting to the point where it's time to move. Once we get to spring, I'm actually waiting for some apartments to come up. I'm finally, I think, going to make the move to that area. So I love it. It's my happy place. I've always enjoyed the shore, and I want to kind of live there long term. So maybe we'll have to link up when I get down there. We'll see. I don't have much of Virginia Tech. Lean FSU, and I'll get to Baylor, Alabama here, hopefully. Oh, actually, I will. By the way, North Dakota State's down to 10.5, I believe, in some books. I still like it. Winthrop, Longwood. Guys, Longwood, this team's solid, man. They cover every game. This team's might be the best team in the Big South, and I think they're excited about it. It's been Winthrop for a lot of years. Look at Griff Aldrich's team, guys. 6-0 in conference, 14-5 overall, and now you have the ability to exercise some fucking demons against Longwood or against Winthrop. It's a great game. Should be back and forth. I get if you trust Longwood. Western Michigan, Ball State. No interest if you want to play Ball State here. Western Michigan is an absolutely terrible defensive team. Ball State play with a ton of pace. They're good offensively. They get to the hoop. They're going to probably be able to do whatever they want defensively here, whatever they want. Western Michigan has not won since November 28th against a Division I team. Okay, they're awful. Ball State should win by double digits. It's that simple. Baylor and Alabama. Toma just asked about this game. Look, Alabama's not been very good recently. They haven't been very lucky, okay? They're not making a lot of shots. And to win games, you got to make shots in college basketball. But they get a home crowd today. They get a Baylor team that's probably going to be without Akinjo. I think there's some matchup advantages here for Alabama. If I had to play this game, I would bet Alabama. Am I playing it? No. But I'll take 3 with Bama at home. I just will. I think they make some shots. I think they circle the wagons. I've talked about these games before. They just look too easy. Why is Baylor one of the best teams in the country? Alabama can't score lately. They stink. I lean Alabama here if I had to play. Kansas State, Ole Miss. How do you score in this game? I'll say this. I trust K-State. I like K-State. I bet this team a few times this year. They play tough. They play hard. They've gotten a lot out of Marquise Noel. I mean, he's been a huge get for this team. Huge get. They're really good defensively. They don't turn the ball over. And listen, if you can shoot against Kermit Davis, you have a shot to win, okay? They're going to throw a zone at you. K-State, third in the conference in three-point offense. I think they can do something. I just think they're a little bit better offensively. It's a rock fight, but I don't trust Ole Miss to score. I just don't. Should be a great game, though. Tough to call. Oklahoma State, Florida. I don't ever trust Florida to score. I'm done with Florida. Mike White, one of the worst coaches in the country. Do I want to lay points? No. I lean under. I think it's a bit too high. I think these two teams kind of cancel each other out. Florida makes you really work defensively. I mean, long possessions. Their tempo. They just don't want to play fast. They have no interest. Both teams in the half court really going to make you work. I think this is an ugly game. VCU, Richmond. Talk about a team that's kind of just hanging around, Richmond. I think in the conference futures market, this is a team really worth a look. Really worth a look. What do we know about VCU? All they try to do is turn you over. Richmond ain't going to turn it over. They're just not going to. Their point guard plays too good with Gilliard. So good luck with that. And once they break the press, I think it's pretty much, game over. Richmond won, last year they played one time. VCU won. They didn't play the back at home game, though. VCU got the best of them last year. But remember, I mean, they had Bones Highland last year with 20 points in this game. He's gone. I think Richmond gets some revenge here today. They don't turn it over. Eastern Kentucky and Stetson. Stetson is a well-coached team. Donnie Jones, a hell of a coach, good defensive group. East Kentucky doesn't play any defense. They want to play fast. They're going to run into a brick wall here in Stetson. Lean Stetson at home, plus 3.5. Sam Houston State, Seattle. Look, if you can figure out Sam Houston, I'd like to hear it. They can't miss. They make everything. They're a terrible free throw shooting team, but they cover every game. Savion Flagg looks like the best player to ever play in the Southland. I don't know what else to say, man. It's crazy. But Seattle, for what it's worth, I like Seattle a lot. I think this is where it ends for Sam Houston. I really do. Coming off a tough cover the other night against Kyle Baptist, I like Seattle more than I like Sam Houston. I just don't trust Sam Houston. I think they've been really lucky. They've made a lot of shots, which I don't think they're going to make today. Seattle's tough. They're well coached. Grigsby's a good player. Shout out Zahari, says greetings from windy Copenhagen. Shout out to Denmark. We're getting into Moorhead. We'll get to them here in just a little bit. Delaware, James Madison. Two teams I like. I like Dylan Painter. I actually watched him play in high school here in Pennsylvania. He was at Villanova. Didn't really work out. Now he's down at Delaware. And it's done well for Martin Inglesby and crew. Two good teams here. Two solid teams. Should be a fun game. I think it's first to probably 75 wins. Lean over. Obviously with JMU, play a lot of ball screen offense. I think Delaware can score efficiently. We go from that game to this game. I don't know who scores in this. North Texas, they have some real problems right now, guys. This is something to keep in mind. North Texas probably going to be without Tyler Perry going forward, their junior point guard. That's a big loss. La Tech, not one to fuck with. Kenneth Lofton, long on the perimeter, got a home game here. Look, I like La Tech. It's a little high. I'd like this game in some sort of money line situation with another team. But I like La Tech. Without the point guard, I think North Texas struggled to maintain offense. That's always a consistency problem for them. Long Beach State, UC Davis. Long Beach State's been pretty good against the number as far as I know. They've won 5 in a row overall, beating a lot of UC teams. Now they get another one in UC Davis coming up here. Look, UC Davis always well coached under Jim Les, good defensive team. Haven't played a lot of games this year due to COVID-19. I can understand why you might have some interest in Long Beach. Have played well. They get another UC team, probably a low-scoring game, first of 70 wins. Elon, William & Mary, two bad teams, one of which is really bad in William & Mary, no interest. Maryland Eastern Shore, Coppin State. Maryland Eastern Shore is one of the worst teams in the country. Coppin State under Juan Dixon. Should they win by double digits? Yeah, because you're getting into the real doldrums of Division I here. Maryland Eastern Shore is terrible. Listen, I'm never going to be betting them in games. They can't score. They're very bad defensively. They've gotten rocked recently by good teams. I don't see any reason. I'm not going to say Coppin State's a good team, but this is a team that lost by 9 to South Carolina State. They lost by 12 to North Carolina Central. I think Coppin's better than both those teams. I would lay the points here with Dixon and crew. Little Rock and App State. I don't have much on this one. I'm not running to bet App State as a big favorite. Little Rock have had some weird results this year. They just seem to win one, lose one. Darrell Walker's not had a very good defensive team this year. It's a pass. Norfolk State, South Carolina State. I think Norfolk State's the best team in the MEAC. Robert Jones, a hell of a coach. He always has very good teams. Joe Bryant is a terrific player for him. Christian Ings as well. Jalen Hawkins. This team's won 5 in a row. And now they get one of the worst teams in the country in South Carolina State. They are a group. And one thing I love about Robert Jones, they cover numbers. They beat bad teams. They roll bad teams. Rolled Delaware State, rolled Maryland Eastern Shore, rolled Morgan State. Road game at South Carolina State. South Carolina State loves to play fast, okay? One of the fastest teams in the country. Problem is they don't make any shots, okay? It's that simple. Their only path to offense is offensive rebounds, and that's a bad tonic here. I think Norfolk State's. I have no issue if you want to bet it. The over is probably good here as well. I don't know. I think Norfolk State probably gets to 80 here. I would lean on laying it. I didn't lay it just because there's so many games today. But the best numbers, as some people are saying, is gone with Norfolk State. I still think they win by double digits, though. Northern Illinois, Central Michigan, two bad MAC teams. Central Michigan is heinous defensively. Northern Illinois, I actually liked them the other night as a big dog, but as a favorite, yeah, I'm good. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and Northwestern State. I will give Northwestern State some credit. They've been better defensively. if they could be any better, they were horrific defensively for a while. Corpus Christi's been a good play this year. They fired their coach and got a new one. They're shooting the ball at a high level. I think this number is kind of where I'd put it. Don't really have much opinion. Presbyterian, 1.5-point favorites. Look, I like Presbyterian as a dog. You're maybe getting 4 or 5. I don't want to lay points with them, though. Or Roberts, Denver. I'll tell you what, Denver's a tough little team. Teams generally bottom out when they go out to Denver. They'll play well in the first half, and then they will just bottom out in the second half. Keep in mind, Oral Roberts in Oral Roberts won 83-66 the first time, so had no trouble scoring. When we look at Denver, just couldn't make any shots that night. So what did I just say there? Couldn't make any shots on the road. Now they're back at home. You'd have to figure the shooting luck's a little bit better. They get into the 70s for Denver. That's a norm for Denver. That's kind of where they are. They're a good offense, not a great one. They get to the free throw line a lot, Jeff Woolburn's team. KJ Hunt, a pretty good player. I think Denver gets to 70. Question is, what's Oral Roberts going to do? I had them kind of in the 80s here. I think this is like a 84-72 type of game, 80-75. This is a high-scoring game. Lean over. I think we get a better shooting night from Denver here. First game got to 83-66, 149. With a little bit better shooting, I think it's conceivable to think this one gets over 153.5. Just my thoughts. Black Ghost 93. First time I've been here in 2 years. You look great. Thank you, Black Ghost. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're here on Patreon every day, breaking down the card. USC Upstate, North Carolina A&T. I don't have much on this. A&T's in the Big South now. They used to be in the MEAC. It's kind of a bit of a step up in competition. Really no interest here. Abilene Christian, Lamar. Lamar is one of the worst teams in the Southland. Just so bad under Alvin Brooks. I want to just put this into perspective. Lamar has won not one game in Division I this year. Their only 2 wins have come against non-Division I teams. They're not Eastern Illinois bad offensively, but they're pretty bad. Abilene Christian is just going to lock them down defensively. I'll just say it. I don't know where the points come from Lamar here. I can understand why they're a double-digit dog at home. Portland State, Northern Arizona. Always tough to go to Flagstaff, especially for Portland State. I actually lean NAU here. Northern Arizona has a kid, Jalen Cone, very good player. I think they can kind of really use that altitude to an advantage here. I think it's a little tougher for Portland State to press like they want to. Southern against Alcorn. Okay, guys, I'll tell you right now, this Southern team is fun, man. Really good guard play really fast. Jaden Sadler and Tyrone Lyons are awesome. Just a fun team to watch. They're going to go up and down, real good offensively. For Alcorn, it's a bit of a change. They want to go really slow. I don't think they have any trouble scoring here, though. I don't. I mean, Southern's not a real good defensive team. Alcorn can score at kind of multiple levels. Linnell Henry, a good player. So I could see an over coming in here, but it's kind of a clash in style, so it's a void for me. Howard against North Carolina Central. Look, guys, I guess this is one of those circle the wagon spots for Lavelle Moten. I don't know if I see it. I think Howard's pretty good, quite honestly. I think they're right up towards the top of this conference. And North Carolina Central's been pretty bad. But when we look at their conference play, they're 2-0 guys. So, I mean, Lavelle Moten, I think you kind of throw out the records. Lavelle Moten still is a really good offensive team here. Howard University is struggling to finish games. Okay, just lost 83-81 to Coppin. They're struggling to lose games. Now you throw out a 1.5 on the road at NC Central. NC Central, good home atmosphere. This is a great matchup between 2 HBCU teams. North Carolina Central, Howard, Lavelle Moten against Kenny Blakely. 2 great coaches at prestigious Black universities. I like NC Central. I do. I love my man Lavelle Moten. This team's got a good offensive ability. They're great from the line. They're pretty damn good defensively. We got to look at conference play, guys. Now, again, I want to make this clear. They played nobody in conference, but this should be a great game. Am I betting it? No, but it should be a good one. Delaware State, Morgan State. Look, I don't want to lay 15 in this conference ever. I'm not doing it. Delaware State, though, is real bad. But I'm not laying 15 and a half in this game. Northeastern, Charleston. Anytime Charleston plays, you got to lean over. They're the fastest team in America. Northeastern should be able to continue to kind of play the way they want to. Charleston just is typical Pat Kelsey. Very fast, very all over the place, and, not good defensively. Northeastern's not going to play fast, but they should be able to score here. But a clash in styles, another one of those. Illinois, Northwestern. Strikingly low, isn't it? Northwestern's been good in these spots, kind of coming up out of the ground and playing well against good teams. Remember they beat Michigan State? Remember that game? Pete Nance, Bo Bowie. It's a good team. This is a huge rivalry game for Northwestern. I'm always going to be on the dog in these kind of games. I just am. St. John's, seems like we're not getting through any. We're still only at the 4:30 window, guys. I'm going as quick as I can. St. John's, Villanova. Look, I said before the season, I think St. John's a good team. I do. I think they're good offensively. I think they're going to start the challenge in some of these games. I'm going to expect that they get off the well today. I do. I don't want to bet them. I'm going to watch them from an eye test. I think they keep this close. I do. I don't think they get blown out by Villanova. It's tough to bet against Villanova, though. They're so good in Finneran Pavilion. And it's hard, man, because St. John's can just, they can get rolled. Villanova number 1 in free throw percentage. I'm just hoping they can get off the mat and show some toughness today. Radford, Gardner-Webb, no opinion. Tennessee State, Eastern Illinois. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Eastern Illinois is one of the worst offensive teams in America, okay? I automatically play their team total every game, and I will here. It's 59.5. I'll be on the under. It's just, guys, I play it every game, okay? Evansville, Eastern Illinois, IUPUI. I play IUPUI today, but they're canceled. They have COVID issues. So it's my thought there. Okay? Whether you play it or not, it's up to you. I'll be on it. They're that bad. Utah and Washington. Utah got some huge news. They got Carlson back, Braden Carlson. That's huge. He adds a huge point to their offense. He is gigantic, 7 foot. You know what? It didn't matter, though. Still lost the other night. I mean, he only played 19 minutes. Who the hell knows? Utah needs to get him back and get him into some games and healthy. Morehead State and Murray. Murray's not really been tested in a long time. They've been rolling in this conference. They're very good, Murray, under Matt McMahon. Haven't been tested. Took care of business in the one step-up game, rolled Belmont. The question here is, you finally get a tough game here at home. You're laying double digits to Morehead, a team that you beat. What was it last year? Did they win? I'm trying to remember. No, they lost last year. Lost by 10, I believe. Now you come back this year, you're 10. Look, Morehead's really solid. Janai Broom's good. I don't love them defensively this year. I've seen they've kind of they had real issues the other night against SEMO. I don't know what happened there. I don't really want to get in front of Murray State. I could see this being the spot where they skip up and struggle. Gun to my head, if you gave me a free bet, I'd lean Morehead, but I don't trust them defensively. Kent State, Bowling Green. Anytime Bowling Green plays, I lean over. I mean, they play up and down. Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State. This game was a pick'em last night, Pine Bluff. They're now a 2.5-point favorite. I'll admit, I played Pine Bluff at a pick'em very small, very small. One of my lowest graded bets today. The only reason I played it, I just think they're better than Mississippi Valley. I think Mississippi Valley is the worst team in America. They don't have Robert Carpenter, their only good scorer. I think Pine Bluff play hard, so I trust them But again, I'm not going to recommend. You don't put money on bad teams, and I did here. I'll admit. Edwardsville and SEMO, case in point, 2 bad teams. No interest. Lean Missouri, Southeast Missouri at home, but I'm not playing it. North Dakota against South Dakota. One of the forgotten things about college basketball is how bad the Summit League defensively is. North Dakota is right up there. This team is terrible on that end. Get no stops. But South Dakota is not real built like North Dakota or South Dakota State or Roberts. they kind of just play in the 70s. So I never expect that. I actually bet a team total with South Dakota the first time these two teams played, and they anemically couldn't get there. Buck South Dakota. Incarnate Word, Southeast Louisiana. Incarnate Word's really bad. Southeast Louisiana, I have to admit, I've been pretty impressed by this group this year. Ever since that little tournament they had in this conference, Southeast Louisiana is solid, man. Going to kind of let you go up and down. They let you play in transition. They're going to definitely run as well. Incarnate Word just doesn't get any stops. Southeast Louisiana team total could be interesting here. I don't know if I really want to lay points, but I think they get into the 70s, maybe high 70s, and get there. Florida A&M, Alabama A&M, two bad teams, two teams that I don't have any interest in betting, and I especially don't have any interest in flip games. UT Arlington, Texas State. Seems like UT Arlington's giving up. They're going to another conference. It's a long way away from a couple of years ago when they had Kevin Hervey. They're not that team anymore. Grambling State, Jackson State. I think this is a complete rock fight. Wayne Brent teams at Jackson State are always elite defensively. Grambling's very turnover based. I think this is a game played in the half court, first to 60 wins. Lipscomb and North Florida. Look, if you guys can figure this game out, have at it. North Florida is about as reliant as it gets from the three-point line. They need to make threes to win games. It's that simple. And if they don't, they don't. You look at 10th in the country in three-point attempts to field goal attempts. However, they're only shooting 31% from three and 25% in conference. Lipscomb can't defend anybody. I hate both these teams, quite honestly. St. Francis, a PA, and Mount St. Mary's. Have no issue if you want to bet Mount here. Good home team under Dan Engelstad. St. Francis, one of the worst teams in the country and in this conference. Mount's going to pressure you. Good team, big down low with a Puku. Don't have any issue with that one. North Alabama, Kennesaw. I played under the other night with North Alabama. They're a good under team. Okay, they're good defensively. They play pretty slow and they don't score. I had the under against Liberty. Had a couple other unders this year with them. Kennesaw State. I mean, they're not exactly good offensively either. I wouldn't mind going back to the well with it again, quite honestly. I like their unders. North Alabama plays slow, man. They just do. Both games last year, 66-64, 66-43. I'll tell you what, I'm adding this to my card. 136.5. I played the under the other night with North Alabama and Liberty. I'm going to play the under 136.5 here. I like North Alabama unders. Just going to say it. In fact, hold on a second, guys. I want to double check what their unders are this year. It wouldn't surprise me if they're strikingly good under this year. Let me see here. North Alabama. By the way, the best under team in America is Eastern Illinois. 15-3 to the under. Where the hell is North Alabama? 10-6 to the under. So they're winning money this year to the under. Not surprising. So, and then when you look at Kennesaw here, kind of middle of the road. I mean, in fact, they're more or less towards the bottom. 212th in pace. Have been real slow in conference this year. Pretty good defensively. I think this is first to 65 wins. I'll take the under. North Alabama and Kennesaw State. Played it the other night. Played it tonight. Hampton, Charlton, Southern. Two bad teams. No interest. Mississippi State, Texas Tech. Does no one respect Mississippi State? I don't understand this. Covered the other night against Kentucky. Now another big dog here against Texas Tech. I'll admit, I like Texas Tech. I think they have what it takes to make a run in March. 30-1, it's a good look. Two good defensive teams. Iverson Molinar's been terrific. This seemed like a bit high to me. Georgia, Vandy. Do you want to lay 9 points at Vandy? I don't. Pass. Virginia, Notre Dame. I don't trust Notre Dame defensively. They got this new defensive guy in Anthony Solomon, and it hasn't really worked. But Virginia, it's not that difficult to guard them. So, I don't know. Two teams I'm not a big fan of. Kentucky and Kansas. This number just keeps going up and up and up. Doesn't look like Tate Washington's going to play today. This is a tall order without him. Severe Wheeler's not exactly healthy. If this gets to 6, I just think it's getting too high. I will say, I think McCormick has a lot of trouble with Sheboy. He's a monster down low. McCormick has shown in past that he is weak and can't hold his own against kids like this. So I don't know. It's starting to get out of hand numbers wise. Yale and Princeton, two good Ivy League teams. Should be a good offensive game. Jaden Llewellyn's back for Princeton, I believe. James Jones, always a good game planner. Should be a close game. Lean Yale, but I'm not playing it. Just a typical close game in the Ivy. Central Arkansas and Jacksonville. Central Arkansas, one of the worst defensive teams in America. Jacksonville with Kevion Nolan at home. This team plays much better defense than Central Arkansas. I think that keeps them in this game and ultimately probably propels them to a solid win. Do I want to lay 10 with them? No. Idaho, Montana State. Idaho at the bottom of this conference. I've made money this year on Montana State team totals. I would look at that here. This is a very good offensive team, guys, at home. Okay, this group in Bozeman's really good. Okay, they get to the free throw line. They make their foul shots. Bello is terrific. Bishop's terrific. They're long on the perimeter. They can shoot the ball at a high level. I would look towards a team total. Idaho is real bad defensively. Texas Southern, Prairie View. Two good teams in this conference, but I lean Texas Southern. There's just something about no Cam Mack this year for Prairie View. They've looked like a different team at times. This is a team that lost that right to Mississippi Valley State. Texas Southern, always well coached. I like John Walker, Carl Nichols. I like this team for Texas Southern and Mike Davis. Furman and Mercer. Furman right now, guys. Hard to get in front of this team, okay? They have made, I think, 53s over the last 3 games. This team is rocking right now defensively and offensively for that matter. I have no interest in fading them. None. Do I think Mercer's better defensively than they've been in years past? Yeah, they've got a kid in Jalen Johnson who's a really good defender. But they're still without Neftali Alvarez. They're off a 14-point loss to Samford. Look, guys, if you want to get in front of Furman, be my guest, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. This is a Mercer defense that, it's had trouble all year getting stops. 298th in three-point defense. It's been a bit better in conference. They've already lost 81-66 in this game this year. I'll say it. At home, I kind of like Furman here. I kind of do. They're rolling right now offensively. Until they miss and don't – I think you just keep rocking with them. There are other games I like more, but I can understand a small play on Furman today. It's a road game, though. That kind of sucks. I wish it was at home. UConn, DePaul. DePaul sucks, guys, okay? Again, what are they every year? Oh, I know. They're the same team every year. They play well in non-conference and then don't play well in conference. 1-8 in conference. They can't score. Let me say it again. They can't fucking score. If Javon Freeman Liberty doesn't play, I would bet against them every fucking game. This offense sucks. This roster sucks without Freeman Liberty. And even with him, they suck. UConn should, if they don't win by double digits, something's wrong. Something's real fucking wrong. DePaul sucks. Really sucks. See what Javon Liberty's status is? If he's out, I would play UConn. Rutgers, Nebraska. This is the same old song and dance with Nebraska, okay? Can you show up in a fucking home game? They never do in these kind of spots. If you're Fred Hoiberg, at what point can you get a fucking win at home here? I'm coming out and saying it. They beat Rutgers today at home. Fuck Rutgers on the road. Fuck Rutgers on the road. Fuck Rutgers on the road. I'm just going to say it, though. Rutgers, they don't win on the road, like ever. The time is now for Nebraska. Alonzo Verge, Bryce McCowens, Derek Walker, Late Maton, wake the fuck up. +3, Rutgers. You can do this, Nebraska. You're getting a couple at home. It's time to wake the hell up. Nebraska wins at home. I'm going to say it right now. They win at home. Cal and USC. USC off a loss to Stanford. Cal's off a blowout loss to UCLA. It doesn't get any easier here. Could this be the spot where Cal just starts getting crushed? Probably. Jacksonville State, Liberty. Anytime you play Liberty, you're going to be in for an absolute rock fight. They are great defensively, play super slow under Richie McKay. That's the norm with them. They're rolling right now. They've won 5 in a row, and not many have been particularly close. This is a tall order, but Ray Harper, Jacksonville State, good coach. Guys, this is going to be an ugly game, man. Why is this total 134.5? Is anybody aware? I'm not. Why the hell is this total 134.5? Well, I'll tell you why. Both these teams are really good from 3. That's the thing. If they're not making shots, this game will go way the fuck under. Do you just kind of say to yourself, I'm going to bank both teams don't make threes today? They're 4th and 7th in the country in three-point percentage. That's all they do well. And then they defend. The threes aren't going in. This game will be lucky to get to 120. It's very volatile to 3 points, the three-point numbers. Not playing it. No interest. Bellarmine and Florida Gulf Coast. Guys, Bellarmine's rolling right now. Scott Davenport wants that job at Louisville. They're rolling. How about that? Not going to be difficult today. Got Florida Gulf Coast who, this should be a fun offensive game. I'd lean over. Florida Gulf Coast is fun to watch under Michael Fly offensively, and Bellarmine has been absolutely terrific offensively. They don't turn the ball over. Every possession is valued. All right. UW Green Bay, Robert Morris, no interest. 2 bad teams. Robert Morris without their best player. He left the team. No interest. Hofstra Wilmington. Why is this number going down total-wise? Does anyone know? Not really sure. I think this game got to 160 last year. Why is this total 141.5? This is the weirdest total on the board. I watched this total last night. It was 143. Then it went to 142. Then 142. Now it's in the 141s. Why? What are these teams seeing? Not seeing? What are they not seeing here? For that reason, I'm avoiding it. But I've made money on Hofstra overs this year. Charlotte Old Dominion. It's time for Jeff Jones to go at Old Dominion. This team's not any good. I don't know why they're laying points today. Pass overall. Albany, NJIT. 2 of the worst teams in this conference. The only reason they're not the worst is because Maine's in it. A coin flip, no interest. Frankly, I'm surprised they're playing this game. NJIT, middle of New Jersey. I don't know how they're playing this game with all the snow. In fact, maybe canceled. Who knows? UAB, Marshall. Marshall's lost 10 in a row. 10 in a row under Dan D'Antoni. Now you get UAB, who's really fucking good. Good luck, Dan D'Antoni. Santa Clara, San Francisco. USF is good, guys. I like USF a lot. Are they Gonzaga? Of course not. But San Francisco's a good team. But it seems like anytime they step up, they can't get the job done. Look at St. Mary's, BYU, and Gonzaga. I lost all of them. Tonight, they will win. Do I want to lay points at them? Quite honestly, yeah, I do. Because against anyone not named BYU, Gonzaga, and St. Mary's, they roll in this conference. Santa Clara is kind of in the middle. Like, they're kind of decent, but they're not that good either. It's a good number. This is a real good number, actually. This is exactly where I'd put it because I don't really want to lay, 7, 8. If this was like 4, I would, but it's tough because against bad teams, they blow them out. And against good teams, they lose. What's it like against a decent average team in Santa Clara? It's tough. Good number here. Good for the books on this one. San Diego, Loyola Marymount. Good for San Diego. They're a tough little team this year. Play hard, 12-9, have a winning record in conference, off a win the other night. They're a good defensive team, San Diego. I'll give them that. Real good defensive team. Travel up to LA. What's wrong with this one? Should be a close game. Lean San Diego. Greensboro and Wofford. I usually just cross over Greensboro games. They're the one team in this conference that doesn't play with any pace. Wofford could get really bogged down in the pace in this game. Wake and Syracuse. Good game. I don't really know what to expect from Syracuse. Some nights they look really good, and then they just get – they get rolled by Pittsburgh. What the hell was that? Can Wake keep going? I mean, look, the truth is, we all know what we have to do against Syracuse. You got to make threes, and the problem that Wake has is they don't make threes. 13th in this conference from the 3-point line. I think Syracuse bounces back. Just saying. 1.5. It's going to go up to 2 probably soon. Pepperdine, St. Mary's. It's not often you see St. Mary's as a 20-point favorite. They're slow. It's hard to cover big numbers if you're St. Mary's. That's how bad Lorenzo Romar and Pepperdine are. This team is so bad. Lost this game by 15 in Pepperdine. Now it's a 20-point number. Has St. Mary's won by 20 at all this year? I'm gonna take a look here. Against Division I opponents. Okay, they beat Santa Barbara by 21, beat Yale by 27, beat Missouri State by 17, beat Loyola Marymount by 32. You know the number one key when you play slow? Be efficient. This is a wood chopper game. You know what a wood chopper game is? The team that just fucking scores every time they have the ball. St. Mary should roll Pepperdine today. The optics are tough, though. I'll just say this. If you're interested in St. Mary's, go ahead and do it. UCF and Houston. I'm going to say it now. I bet this at 7.5. It's down to 6.5. Sometimes it's hard. I still like it there, though. I think UCF wins. I got to tell you, I really think they can win this game. I really do. Huge game for UCF from an at-large opportunity standpoint here. Look, I don't think they're an at-large team, but I think they have a shot. They beat Miami, beat Michigan, beat Memphis. I think they have a shot. That South Florida game is going to count. But a win against Houston here, this is your pretty much last opportunity to get a quad one win. They need it. They have to have it. It's at home. If you're getting above 4 here, I would take a shot with UCF. I like this team. I think Darius Perry's really good. I get Houston's tough. I know they're tough. But remember, they're off a lot of blowouts here. Okay, now you got to go on the road, take on a tough defensive team. It's not easy. Houston's real good. But they're still without Sasser. Okay, they're still without guys they need. Tremont Max out. You got to be able to rebound the basketball. Okay, UCF, pretty good rebounding team. Hopefully they can keep them off the glass tonight. I like 7.5. I think 6.5 is still good, though. I played UCF plus 7.5. Have the ticket. Don't be surprised if UCF win. That's a tough place to go play. Tennessee and Texas. Who the hell scores in this game? Lean under. Lean under. Idaho State, Northern Colorado. Idaho State is real bad. Real bad. Real bad. Northern Colorado, well coached. It's tough to go play there. It's Northern Colorado a pass here. Georgia Southern, UL Lafayette. Look, like I said, I don't bet a lot of Sun Belt games, but I will say Lafayette is solid. Okay, they are. They are flippy in conference, but they're good defensively. They're really good from the 3-point line. In Georgia Southern, it's all really just about putting your head down and getting to the basket. A lot of the time teams are just going to zone you and take you out of that game. So lean Lafayette. UMKC, Nebraska, Omaha, really a clash in styles. There's one constant here. Nebraska, Omaha is one of the worst defensive teams in the country. They're bottom 5. They are a fucking layup line. If you're Billy Donlin and UMKC, I see no reason you can't do what you want to do in this game. This team's played well recently. They've won three in a row. What else do you have to say? I mean, I'm always going to play against Nebraska Omaha. It's almost like you auto bet the team total for whoever plays Omaha. Fullerton and Riverside, complete pass. 2 good Big West teams. It's a flip game. Riverside very dependent on threes. It's a pass for me. South Florida, Tulsa. Lean Tulsa. I like them at home. I like Frank Haith. I don't love Frank Haith. He's always going to throw those John Chaney zones at you. And I want to say today, on the 1 year anniversary of the death of John Chaney, may he rest in peace. He was my hero growing up. I think he's the greatest coach in the history of college basketball. And it's really about what he did off the court. He was a terrific on the court coach, but he was an even better man off the court. Look into who John Chaney was. He had coached for 50 years. He was a tough guy. He was a mean coach, but he loved his kids. He did whatever he could for them. And if you look at what he did off the court, he was imperatively important in the rule players, where players, he would go and help them off the court, get their grades up. He would take chances on kids that he was told not to take a chance on. And without him, people like Aaron McKee wouldn't be here today. It's that simple. I did a really big write-up on John Chaney when I was at Barstool. I kind of remembered him, and I urge you, if you get a chance today, go read that. John Chaney was an incredible guy, and Frank Haith has taken a lot of his principles. So we say rest in peace to a Philly legend, John Chaney, a guy that was from this city. He lived in Mount Airy his whole life. Just a great guy. Shout out to, rest in peace, to John Chaney. Evansville and Missouri State. Look, I'm going to say it right now, guys. This is another team. You have to auto bet their unders. Okay, they're very bad. Evansville is very bad offensively. Okay, keep in mind. Let's look at their last couple offensive performances: 59, 56, 56, 48, 47, 61, 59. Okay, now they play the toughest team in that grouping, Missouri State. Missouri State is a dog on defense. Okay, they get stops. They're the best 2-point defense in this conference. Evansville can't make threes. Under. I'll keep betting these. Evansville, Eastern Illinois team total unders. Tarleton State, Rio Grande. Tough trip for Tarleton here, but they're the better team. Good defensively. Hard to back, though. They play that burn offense. It's all about wasting clock. Houston Baptist, Nichols. Lean Nichols. I think they're one of the better teams in the Southland. Houston Baptist can't get any stops. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State. Complete pass. Very coin flippy game. Bad team. South Carolina, Texas A&M. I don't have much here. I don't want to lay 7.5 with A&M. I just think they're an average team. I don't want to lay numbers with them. South Carolina, I think that the leash could be getting shorter on Frank Martin. Austin Peay, Tennessee Tech, no interest. No interest. Two bad teams, not playing them. Austin Peay is not what they once were. They used to have Matt Figger. He's gone. Portland and Gonzaga. Question is, where do we see Gonzaga? Okay, look, they were bad offensively the other night and still got the high 80s. This is a team I'd auto play right now. Sorry. I'd auto play them. Gonzaga team total over. Whatever it is. First half, full game, doesn't matter. Pick your poison. They could score 100 every game. Portland is going to let you run, okay? That's bad ideas against Gonzaga. Let's look at last season for Portland against Gonzaga. Now, again, I think they're better than they were last season, but Portland likes to run. That's bad news. Gonzaga scored 116 against Portland. It was their highest output of the season. I mean, good luck. Good luck. Give up 78 to BYU. Give up 96 to Oregon. Give up 90 to San Jose State. Give up 90 to VMI. Give up 76 to Arizona State. Good luck. Good luck. Gonzaga gets probably to 95 here. Team total over. Guys, I don't need to tell you that. I just play it. Eastern Washington, Montana. I lean Montana. This is not a vintage EWU team. They ain't going to the tournament this year. Lost their coach, lost the Groves kids. FIU, UTEP, kind of a clash in styles. UTEP wants to play slow and low under Joe Golding, defensive-minded. FIU is kind of opposite. Cal Poly and Irvine have no issue playing Irvine here. One of the better teams every year in the Big West under Russell Turner. Haven't played a lot of games this year due to COVID-19. Kind of a tough year for them. They're big as usual, play great defensively. The thought on Cal Poly is, how the hell does this team score in this game? How the hell do they score here? They don't score, and now they're playing a team in Irvine that held them to 49 and 44 last year. Good luck here, Cal Poly. Grand Canyon, New Mexico State. A couple of injuries. I'd watch New Mexico State. This is a great defensive team in Grand Canyon. I think this game's close. And I wouldn't be surprised if Grand Canyon win. They're well coached under Bryce Drew. They're big. They're strong defensively. And they have a point guard, which New Mexico State doesn't. BYU and Pacific. Guys, I'm going to say two things about Pacific. Pacific is the worst against the spread team in America. They're 1-14 against the spread. Now they're playing a team in BYU that's had a couple of tough games recently. Let's look at BYU. Have played Santa Clara, San Diego, San Francisco, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, all tough. Last beat Pacific 73-51 at home, okay? Mark Pope has come out and said before he likes to cover numbers. He likes to be analytical. He likes to win by as many points as possible. I think we just have to look at the fact and realize Pacific is not covered 14 of 15 this year. I think you just maybe say, you know what, I'm just going to bet against them. What more do you need here? This isn't a rocket science. Stanford, UCLA. UCLA seems to be getting going. I've said before, and I'll say it again, this is a complete team, okay? I would bet them in the futures market, okay? Their numbers really good right now. Should roll here, no issue. No interest in Stanford. Oregon State, Oregon. Oregon's another team getting going. You know, they've slipped up, though. Do I want to lay double digits with them against a rival? They shouldn't have any issue here. I mean, Oregon State's like real bad. They ain't gonna get anything going like they did last year. But Oregon was rolling and then just lost to Colorado. So they're off a loss, which should help. Utah State, Nevada. Guys, look, I like Nevada, okay? I'm going to keep trying to be stubborn with them. I played their money line today. You can join me if you want. I played Nevada the other night against Fresno. They were able to get the job done. I like Nevada here. I do. I think the guard play is really good for them with Sherfield and Cambridge. I think they're starting to kind of right the ship a little bit. It was tough early in the season defensively, but they're starting to look better on that end, better defensively. Utah State's had issues. Their COVID's been a problem for them. And I don't really think they're very good. I know they got a win last time out against San Diego State, but that was a bad spot for San Diego State. Utah State still has issues with Brock Miller and Rylan Jones. They don't have a real big bench right now. Going to Reno is not going to be easy. That's a good home atmosphere. I played Nevada money line. That's a game I'm on today. -110. Weber State, Sacramento State. Lean Weber. Have no issue if you want to bet it. Sac State's really bad. Weber's good. They're good defensively. They are able to cover big numbers. They're a big team. I like Weber. Stephen F. Austin, Cal Baptist. No interest. No interest. I hate Cal Baptist. Without Taron Armstrong, I have no interest. Until he comes back, no interest. Bakersfield and UC San Diego, no interest here. Two bad teams. The only advantage I think Bakersfield has is Rob Barnes. He's a good coach. He doesn't have a ton of talent, though. I have no interest here. Final game, Santa Barbara and Hawaii. I think this screams Santa Barbara, but I'd probably take Hawaii. I'll tell you what, guys, Hawaii, no one ever talks about, and you're not going to because they're in the Big West and they're not in the contiguous United States, but they have not lost since December 23rd. This Hawaii team under Aaron Gannett has played really well. You ask yourselves why? Well, because they're making threes. This is a terrific shooting team, and they're very good defensively. It is not easy to go to Hawaii and win. I think they win tonight. Money line looks good. All right, it's 12 o'clock, guys. An hour and a half I've been on. I've went over every single game on this card. I've not missed one. There's no one in this business that's going to do that. Please, if you enjoy what I'm doing, come check me out on Patreon. I do a lot of hard work. I break down every game, every day. I give you my favorite games. Unfortunately, guys, I had about 110 people on my Patreon. Some have left. I'm down to, I think, 98, sadly. They left. I don't know why. I go over every game. I'm just trying to help here. I feel like my info that I give out is worth paying for. I don't think there's anyone that just did what I did in this business, okay? I gave you this show today on YouTube. People that aren't with me, I urge you, now's the time. It's the end of the month. February 1st is coming. The next 2 months are going to be big for college basketball. I'd urge you, make sure you're here with me every day. Right now, I'm going to tell you my favorites, ones that I played today. Let's go through them. Miami, -2.5. That's about to start. I took Vermont's team total over, 78.5. Also have a little something on Vermont, -25. I don't think you can go wrong with either. I like Arizona, -20.5. I think they crush a bad Arizona State team off a loss. I like North Dakota State. Got them at 11 against South Dakota State. Northern Alabama and Kennesaw State under 136.5. UCF +7.5 and Nevada money line. That's what I'm on today. Whether you tail or fade, it's up to you. Good luck. Thank you for watching. I will be back Sunday, same time, same place. Patreon.com/BMOC. Patreon.com/BMOC. Come join me. Come be here with me. I'd love to have you here every day. It's where we do it. Joel Skinner, Junior Duanos, Trappels Boomin, Jar Jar, Shane, Steelers, Seth Fox, Carson, James, Gabe, Black Ghost, Christopher Wilson, Zahari, Toma, Joe, Ryan, Al, Ryan, Leger, Cody AV, what's up, brother? Jeff Hanna, D from Detroit. Thank you for joining me here. I appreciate you. And to all the other people that joined me, thank you for coming in. Have a good day and enjoy college basketball. I wish you luck.